Hi guys, it's Mary. Welcome back. Are you guys really interested in a video that's all over the place? Yeah, I'm putting on makeup and talking again. So if you're interested in that and how I just like go from one thing flitting to another, no rhyme or reason, just whatever pops in my head, we're going to talk about that. Just keep watching. Well, I still haven't found the missing teeth to my male ears, but I'm going to wear them anyway. Eventually, I don't know. When I get a new desk or something and I pull all this stuff out here, I'll find the little missing pieces and I can glue them back on. Until then, I just wear them every once in a while because I'm scared. I'm scared I'm going to lose more. Because, you know, they're just glued on there. Oh, crap. I meant to do this first. See, you get to talking and then you don't do what you're supposed to. Yesterday, I was supposed to be in here filming, but instead I went with my mom, my sister, my aunt, and, you know, we went to go see my sister's newly built lake house, and we went out to eat, and that was the footage that you saw at the beginning was, right, I could not. It was trains. Okay, it was a train place. So I had to take videos of it. Everywhere I go, it seems like lately, people are like, why are you talking to me? I went to go to the bathroom and there's all these pies there. And I'm like, is that rhubarb? That looks like rhubarb pie. It also looks like the best rhubarb pie I ever saw. And I'm like, whoa, because that looks like rhubarb to me, but it also looks like the biggest rhubarb. Like, you know, that was not machine cut, okay? That was hand cut rhubarb right there. And I want to know, there's these two men that had come in and they're sitting at their booth, you know, engaging in conversation. How dare they? How dare they not notice that I am in their presence and require conversation? So I thought there's like a break in this conversation here, and I go, is that rhubarb? Think about that for a second. You're just like in a restaurant minding your own business, talking to your friends, and then this girl comes up and goes, is that rhubarb? And you know, you may not even know what rhubarb is. And of course they're like, I don't know. And both of them are looking at me like, why are you talking to us? Because I talk to everybody, don't you know? I go to the bathroom when I come back out. The waitress is up there then. I'm like, is that rhubarb? She goes, it sure is. And I'm like, oh. But mind you, I've ordered 2 sandwiches now, so maybe we should skip the rhubarb. And it wasn't because these sandwiches were little by any means. It was because I got a Reuben. It's no secret to anybody here. I love Reubens, right? I got to have a Reuben, you know. In a place like this, I got to have a Reuben and see, is this any good? And, well, yeah, that was pretty excellent. It was not the best Reuben. The best Reuben, I told you, I left at Spencer's restaurant in Williams, Arizona. And now I know all you Arizona Fritzy family are going, we must go to Spencer's now and see what is the best Reuben. But my mom and my aunt at the table, they're eating the tenderloin. Now, they are connoisseurs of the tenderloin. We're not talking about those ones you get that are like as big as your head, that are pounded down so small and deep fried to where what you get is like a pork fritter, okay? It's like mostly crunchy outside, hardly no meat at all on the inside. No, that's not a tenderloin. A tenderloin's when you got like this thick of the meat and it's the breading, and it's still as big as your head. That's a tenderloin. So they're going to try these tenderloins, and yeah, they was not disappointed. And from the look of it, I'm like, I'm not disappointed in looking at that either. Thank you for that treat to my eyeballs. Of course, as I am eating my sandwich, I'm eyeballing my mother's sandwich. I'm like, can I have a bite of that? She doesn't even like Reuben, so it's not like we're going to share. I'm not telling you guys what I'm doing today, okay? But just know that I am using the brushes from the Glitzy Fritzy Essential Eye Set on my eyes. And let me pause here for a second in talking and say Sigma came out with these minis. And here they are. We got Enchanted, Ambience. Whoops. Nope, that's Warm Neutrals. Ambience, Warm Neutrals, and Corderosa. One of you is going to win these. We'll come back to that. But I took this one to see. Okay, I'm going to give this thing one more shot. If I was ranking all my Sigma palettes, which I was going to do a video on that. And then I saw how horribly the last Sigma video I did. I can't be doing videos, this will probably be one of them, where it underperforms not doesn't performs, but takes like 2 or 3 weeks for it to climb up to 1,000 views. And then YouTube looks at me and goes, "You're a loser, okay? Your last video, everybody wanted to watch that one, but, you know, there's about 800 of them that don't care about this, so don't do that again." So the Sigma video that I did last, I was like, oh, I thought you guys was interested in this stuff. Are you not interested in this stuff? So anyway, that video about ranking all the Sigma palettes, it's not happening because I can't afford, especially following this one, to have another video that underperforms. But in any case, I have had 3 of these and I get rid of them. I don't like this palette for some reason. Maybe I'll like the little one because, you know, little ones tend to focus on like a few looks, like 2 or 3 looks that you could get out of the palette. But I decided to go ahead and open this one and we'll see. Enchanted doesn't have the pigmentation of the rest of the palettes, but I don't know. I'm not the most talented person in the world, so maybe it is me. But whatever. Anyway, moving along, nothing to see here. So we eat the food, and I decided I needed to take a tenderloin home to Shy Guy. That was the second sandwich, but I did bite off a little bit around the because, like, here's this sandwich, right? And I should have took a picture. The tenderloin's like that big, and the bun is like maybe this big. So there's a lot of hangover there. And I'm like, I just need to make sure it's good before I take it to him. And it's a common courtesy. So I just took a little nibble on the outside, and it was. And the Reuben was excellente too. Really loved that Reuben. You know, we do this from time to time. We will like go out, just us 4 girls, go out and drive around and find restaurants and just go eat there because we come from a family of eaters. On the last video that I did, perfect example. I thought that video would not perform well. You'll notice my nail polish was out of sync. Okay. That's one reason I don't like getting colors on my nails. It's real easy to see, oh, wait a minute, wasn't that filmed like way before this video? Because look at your nails. Yeah, I decided not to publish that video because I thought it would underperform. If I think a video is going to do well and you guys want to know what I'm saying or what I'm showing or whatever, that video, it never does good, even though I think this is a video that's going to do real good. And then a video that I think you guys aren't going to really be interested in, that's the one that gets the views. So anyway, that last video then was that. It was like, I didn't think that you guys really wanted to see a tag. So I never published it. I just kind of pushed it back there. Well, then life happens and I can't film. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to go ahead and publish this one and I'll just take the hit. That video did pretty good. This is the one that's going to fail. No. And when I say fail, I don't mean like nobody watches it. You guys do. It's just YouTube. They like kill your ego really bad. If you have a video that comes out and it's like 1,100 views, and I'm only saying this because I know you guys are interested in it. If you have a video that comes out and it's like 1,100 views in a decent amount of time, okay, then the next video you do, it gets 700 views in that same amount of time, then YouTube can't help itself. It's got to tell you, hey, loser. No, it doesn't say that, but it does let you know, hey, you're down, okay? And as soon as you sign into your dashboard, it's telling you, you didn't do very good this time. You need to step up your game. Nobody likes you. Go home. No, it isn't that bad, but I mean, they are letting you know. This video's underperforming. Your usual viewers don't like this. I was watching one and it actually said that. Your usual audience, I don't know what the actual word was, but what they were trying to say was the people who normally watch you, they don't like this, okay? So like, don't do that again. But the whole point of this is I wanted to tell you that I appreciated so much the love under that video. I thought you guys were going to be mad at me on that video. And it really got a lot of love from you guys. I didn't really realize how many of you already knew about these guys that come under the videos and like try to engage with you all in conversation. And I remember I said, I'm not really sure what they're trying to do. I mean, everything has a a goal, right? Is the goal to get you talking so that they can, I don't know, send you a link or something that goes somewhere that captures your identity, or I don't know what the point is. I mean, in my brain, I'd be thinking, okay, surely they realize that by the time you get to be our age, you know, you're in your 60s or whatever, that you've been picked up on a few times in your life. So, you know, there's not probably a pickup line that they can give us that we'll fall for. So I don't know what the goal is, but apparently you guys are really smart and you know this, all right? But it is aggravating. If you see a comment like this, any of you can go to the little dots to the right of a comment, and there's like 3 little dots there, and if you click on that, you can report them. Report those people. Yeah, I wanted to bring that up and say thank you to all of you for that video, because it really boosted my spirits. Probably mostly because I thought it wouldn't be well received. Made me feel better with the way you guys were, and I wasn't having a very good week. And also Michelle, I think her name's Sorensen, Michelle Sorensen, she said something in a comment, and I keep meaning to tell you guys this, and then, you know, other things happen. But I encourage all of you who want to start a channel. I've had people, you know, ask about starting channels and stuff. You know, just do it. You don't have to have any fancy equipment. Today's phones are really good enough. I mean, shoot, they were good enough for back then. My first videos were filmed with my phone because I didn't have a camera. After that, my videos were filmed on a webcam. Just filming them on a webcam. It wasn't until just a couple of years ago that I got an actual camera. You don't have to wait for that. You can just jump right in there and start filming. I don't think anybody's really comfortable when they first start out. Just do a few videos knowing you're the only one ever going to see it. Oh, I thought this was my E21. Okay, well, let's use it. It's a brush from BK Beauty, smudger. Same diff. I mean, I want to accomplish the same thing with it. So you don't have to publish. Make 10 or 15 videos, you know. Pretend like you're going to publish it. And then one day you will. One day you'll get good enough at it that you'll actually go, okay, that's good enough, I can publish that, and you'll do it. Don't even tell anybody. I never told anybody in my family that I had a channel. Shy Guy didn't even know until I'd had a couple of videos up that I was doing that. But back to what Michelle was saying, her comment. She said something like, bet you never knew how many of us would grow to love you and your videos. I think that I might have copy and pasted what she said. But no, you're right. I did not. When I first started my channel, I sure did not. I thought it would take years. Obviously, it has taken years. But you don't know. You might be one of these people that starts a channel and everyone just falls in love with your calm nature or whatever. And then your channel takes off and you're in the right age group. You're doing the right things that people are interested in. I mean, a lot of women that are 60 years old don't think that... they want to get on up in front of the whole world and act like they're 12. You know? That's just my thing. It just doesn't happen to be for everybody. But that doesn't mean that, you know, your channel won't explode and you won't take off with something really important to say that people just really want. You can do that. And if you don't, you know what the worst thing that's going to happen is? You'll make friends. That's the worst thing that's going to happen. Okay, now I'm just grabbing stuff. Yeah, we're going to use the Glitzy Fritzy Essential Eye Set, and then I just start grabbing other brushes. I've actually got a pretty sweet spot here. I've got enough subscribers that I can make a little bit of money doing it, but not so many that I have to put up with all the hate that comes with a channel that gets bigger. So I'm actually in a sweet spot. I remember when I reached that first 100 subscribers, that was my first milestone, and I remember looking at that and thinking, I can't fit 100 people in my house. Wow, that's a lot. And then I remember going to my son's graduation. I looked at the gym and I thought, there's probably about 300 people in here. And at that time, I had about 300 or so subscribers. And I remember thinking, wow, this is what that looks like. This is what like about 300 people looks like. If my subscribers were all right here, this is how many there would be. That's a lot. I think that people get numbers distorted, maybe because of YouTube and the subscribers. You tend to forget how many people that is, what that looks like. Or like if you look at a concert hall and they're like 50,000 people are in here, and some people have millions of subscribers, and that's 50,000, and you have millions of subscribers. What's that look like? When you sit at the camera to film, you know, you're talking to your friends, like there's a few of you, and you're not really thinking about crowds of people. If you were Candy Johnson, I heard Candy Johnson say this, you can't think in numbers, because if I really thought about what I was doing and how much of a fool I make of myself all the time up here. Because if you think, oh my gosh, I just did that in front of 1,200 people. And now picture in your head how many people that is. That's like 4 gymnasiums full of people that you just did that stupid thing in front of. You wouldn't be able to do it. But you know, as you're filming it, it's like it's just you in a room sending a video to your friends, and you forget that people who hate you can watch this video. People who think you're an idiot can watch this video. People who want to make fun of you can watch this video. You're forgetting that the video is public and that not just the people who love you can watch it. Did you guys see my Instagram story where I said, which I'm sure you've seen it on the news by now, about Revlon going out of business? Okay, well, we don't know if they're going out of business. They filed bankruptcy. You remember me saying I wondered if Elizabeth Arden was going to go out of business? The reason that I was saying that was because every time I go over to, you know, the Lancome counter or whatever, when I get there, it's like they're making Lancome and Estee Lauder man the Elizabeth Arden counter. If you've been around here for a long time, you know that I started out, I cut my teeth on Elizabeth Arden. Elizabeth Arden was my first. Well, Elizabeth Arden started out as a Canadian, and she opened her Red Door salons in New York in, I think, 1910. That would be such... I might cry if Elizabeth Arden goes out of business, just because it's nostalgic for me. I mean, I can remember being in my 20s and asking my mom and dad for Visible Difference. I couldn't afford it, and I wanted Visible Difference, and I asked for Visible Difference for Christmas. So if Elizabeth Arden falls, and you may be saying, well, Mary, why are you talking about that? Elizabeth Arden is owned by Revlon. Revlon picked them up, I think, in 2016? Somewhere in the 2000s, Revlon acquired Elizabeth Arden. What have you guys been watching? I finally started Call the Midwife. I know I'm way behind on that. I looked at that and I went, 10 seasons? Oh my gosh. It's like everybody has watched this show now but me. And I don't know why I never wanted to watch it, but I started watching it. And I just got to season 4. Gosh darn it, look what I did. All right, I'm going to leave it alone. It's just nice to turn on a TV show and watch it that doesn't have some hidden agenda in it. It's exhausting, okay? It is exhausting trying to figure out, did I just do something that I'm going to be in trouble for? You know, like, for example, okay, I was leaving my mom's the other day to go home, and I pull out, and the road goes down to a creek. When I was a kid, we hung out down there in the creek, and we would hunt crawdads and, you know, just stomp around, because remember, most people didn't have air conditioning yet. You know what? This happens every day. I look at my eye look and I go, it just needs spider or or something. And so then I pop open my Tiny Marvels, and pretty soon I'm in it, you know, revising an eye look. And then you guys would be like, what's on your eyes? A little this, a little that. I just want to deepen this a little bit, so yeah. Anyway, so I'm going down in the car to go home, and of course I have to go over the creek. And down at the end of the road at the creek are these 3 boys, okay? In their shorts, they're barefoot, they got no shirts on, and just like when we was kids, right? And they got their pails, and I know what they're doing. They're going to go to the creek, and they're going to hunt crawdads, or, you know, little turtles, or something. As I'm driving toward the creek, these 3 boys are like waving at me, okay? Like they want to talk to me. They want me to stop. And the windows are open because it was really nice, like 70 some degrees. So it's really nice. And I slow down when I get to the creek, And for those who don't know it, I have a candy apple red Mustang, which is rapidly getting harder and harder to climb in and out of. I keep telling Shy Guy, we need to trade this in on an SUV of some sort. And he's like, no, it's paid for. It's in mint shape. And it is. It's 2013 and it hasn't hit 20,000 miles yet. It's a baby. Okay, it's my baby. Anyway, so I stop and the boys are telling me how much they love the car. Okay. And I said, well, thank you. You know, I go, you guys, and just making conversation, just like I would anywhere else, you know, and just like I have my whole life. I said, well, you guys going to try and catch some crawdads? And they're like, no, we're going to get a little turtle. And I'm like, oh, okay. And I think maybe they were like 11. Anyway, I told them, I go, when I was younger than you, I used to come down here to the same creek and I would hunt crawdads. And, you know, we'd take them home and keep them as pets. We didn't know any better, you know. We used to catch the lightning bugs in the jars. Poor little things are in there flashing until they die. We're not thinking about that. So, you know, they had their little conversation. And then I noticed this woman is standing out there. And I'm like, oh my gosh. Instantly, I felt guilty. Like I did something wrong. What did I do? I was talking to these 3 little boys. Okay, but I had this thought that she's writing down my license plate number. She's going to call the police and tell them I'm trying to lure these little boys or something, you know, because that's the world we live in now. And then I cried about it on the way home because I was like, wow, here's where we are. You can't even have a conversation, that you're not worried that somebody's going to misinterpret what you're doing or think you're doing something wrong, you know. And all it was is these little boys wanted to tell me they loved my car. And so they stopped me and we had a conversation about when I was a kid and used to do what they're doing, you know. And how this is like 3rd generation that has done this in that creek now. It would be like my generation because that neighborhood went in when I was a year old. That development is about 60 years old. And, you know, so I did it. My kids did it. My grandkids have done it. 3 generations doing this. It's just exhausting. Constantly worrying about, did somebody just take what I said wrong? Did somebody just make a mountain out of a molehill? I'm so tired of this. Anyway, I don't know what brought me. Oh, watching The Midwife. Yeah, so let's get back to that, shall we? When I was watching this, it was funny because in this one that I'm watching, the nun is helping this person out the door. And I saw this happen on Murdoch on an episode too, where a criminal or, you know, somebody who's not supposed to be leaving or whatever, it can't get out the door and somebody politely helps them. And what they're doing is they're helping someone that's not supposed to be leaving get outside. Okay, well, this reminds me of when I worked at the hospital. I know I've told you guys in the past that I've worked at a lot of different hospitals. And one of these hospitals that I worked at, I was an x-ray tech. A lot of times when I'm talking about this, people assume that I'm a nurse. I'm not a nurse. I'm an x-ray tech, or I was an x-ray tech, okay? And at this particular place, we had a mobile x-ray machine. And we take it around to all the nursing homes and do the x-rays and then come back. That way the people don't have to leave there. We will come to you. Well, this was like my first time going to this nursing home. This patient was out front. Clarification, she's a patient to me, but she lives at the nursing home. Okay, and I didn't know it was a patient. I thought that it was just somebody, you know, an older person who needed some help getting out the door. So they're actually like trying to get out of the nursing home. And I swear I've had this for years. I don't know when this thing is going to run out. It just keeps on going. And I just keep making myself use this instead of switching off because, you know, I'd like to finish it. But I've had it for years and this is what I use it for. But, you know, it's been clicked a lot. But anyway, so I go in with the x-ray machine and then, you know, this elderly person is there. And so I'm just going to be polite and help her out the door. She's in a wheelchair. So I don't realize that this is a resident in a wheelchair, not just some person who's there, right, that needs help getting out the door. I open the door, hold it open, and help this person out the door. And I hear all this commotion, and I look behind me, and it's like all these nurses and whatnot are like screaming and yelling and running after this person out the door. Inside there, they were like barely moving the wheelchair, you know, but once they're outside, they're like going at it, man. They are trying to escape. And they're like, you don't let them go. Do not let them outside. I think I have blabbered enough today, right? I'll be right back. Getting in this drawer here, I almost forgot about the giveaway. All right, so Corta Rosa, Ambience, and the warm neutrals. And I have to say that these three of the big palettes, they are amongst my favorites. What I have in front of me here that's going in the giveaway is the E40 Max, the E45 Max, the E49, and the E25 Max. What can be our code sentence that says you want to be entered? How about, them lips sure are shiny. Okay, you put in your comment somewhere, them lips sure are shiny, and I'll know that you are from the US and want to be entered into this giveaway. And then, you know, like sometime down the road, we'll do a cash giveaway for the people who are not in the US. How about that? Also, before I forget, I won't be commenting below because it's a giveaway. I'll just be hearting your comments as I read them. If you have a question or something, go to another video and post the question there and I'll reply there, okay? All right, you're the best part of the Fritzy family. And if you're not having a blessed day, the way you get one is to go be a blessing to somebody else. And until next time, love you, see ya, bye. And I'm out.
This one here's still not going to be in it because I just used it today and still not in love. So don't forget it. I just really don't like you. Don't know why that even is. Sure is pretty though. Look at that. Ooh, I'm not enchanted. I was supposed to film yesterday, but I didn't because yesterday, instead of being in this seat, I went out with all the girls to eat. Oh, yesterday. Maybe. Let me just belch all over you. I'm so sorry. But it was chocolatey, so does that make up for it? Anyway, there's only like one waitress for the whole town. Yeah, for the whole town. Well, I don't know. That was a really small town, you know, so it may have just had one waitress for the whole town. But, you know, the point is that you don't have to... Peter? Hey! Yeah, really? Did you guys see my post? Oh, that is... Boy, I look like a muddy mess, don't I? Okay, that is not poop on me. That is Charlotte Tilbury bronzer. They're like going at it, man. They are trying to escape. They're headed to the road now. You know, it's like, hit the road, Jack. And don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more. Hit the road, Jack. That's what they're doing. They're trying to get away.